All right, this is Trevor back with my next restoration project. Today, it's a Toyota Celica hatchback or fastback, I guess. I bought a couple of them. There's a Matchbox one in the background that's in really good shape. This Matchbox one that I'm playing with here is in terrible shape. The roof is bent in. This Tomica is in pretty terrible shape. Not only does it have play wear, but someone really tried to stab the back end of it. But this is the one we're going to kind of focus on. I originally planned on doing both of these Celicas at the same time and having a double Celica video, but hey, we're doing one at a time, I guess. Just trying to get some work done. So, yeah, Celica Mania. Here it is. We're going to start it out. Hot Wheels also makes a Celica, which I find it, is a really cool car. It's a little older looking model, but it's a more modern casting. The one I'm fixing today, the Tomica, is based on this mid-70s Celica, sold in America. These are really cool cars. My babysitter, when I was a kid, had one. She's kind of like my second mom, actually. And we drove around in it, and I thought it was a great car. Very cool car. And getting older, I see just kind of Japanese car-wise how cool the car really was. So here we are drilling out the posts or the rivets on the Tomica. It's got a plastic base. It had two rivets. The wheels just pop right out with the flat spring as the suspension. The interior is the grill. The grill. The grill just kind of holds in place. But the interior you can see is smashed in the back trunk area. The back window is smashed in. It's got a rivet holding it in place, but it wasn't too hard. And of course, the doors open and close based on that little wire spring. Took me a while to figure that out, but I did get the window out by just using a little pressure. Turns out the rivet was not really riveted in place. It was just kind of a post to hold it in place. So this windshield is going to need a lot of attention, and that's where I'm going to focus some of my energy on this car. But I found it pretty easy. So here's the two Celicas, kind of torn apart. You can see both of them are missing significant paint. But after caustic soda kind of strip on the paint, they ended up, the base was really hard to get the paint off of the Matchbox, but that's for a different day. I did the doors in Citrus Strip just because they're smaller, and I wanted to make sure I wouldn't lose them. So I threw the doors to this car and to these two cars and two other cars. So I had 8 doors. Wire wheeled the bodies on both these Celicas using a brass brush on a rotary tool. And they kind of sat on the shelf for a little while because both of them needed some significant, one needed glass work and the other one needs to bend the body back in place. So here I am drilling the posts to put screws in it on the Tomica. The posts were, just barely big enough. They fit. It works. So we're doing it. And it's got 2 posts, and so I did both of them. And I did use a vise. Sometimes usually I use a vise. I don't have to use a vise. I don't always use a vise, but safety first, I guess. So I usually do end up using a vise. And you can see me cleaning off the tip of the drill by drilling into the wood. Because, the metal shaving kind of gets caught in the drill bit. And the wood helps to remove it, being a little softer, I guess. But, yeah, love this vise. I've used it a lot over the past few months. And we're almost done. There we go. Here we are cleaning up interior parts to this car, plastic parts to this car, and a couple other ones that you actually haven't seen yet. I don't think I've released those videos yet. So we're scrubbing it out with a toothbrush, an old toothbrush, and some Dawn soap and some warm water. The toothbrush was new because you just get one from the dentist, and I use one that's a little more, substantial. So we just have some spare toothbrushes laying around, so we put it to good use. Here's the Matchbox parts, even though we're not really restoring the Matchbox at this moment. is definitely on my project list. Gonna hope to try to get it done this year. Here's the we're getting into some Tomica parts. Here's the glass, or sorry, the window or windscreen or window unit. Because we're gonna reuse it. And here's the interior to the Tomica. Even though again it's broken, we're gonna reuse it too. I got a plan, and the plan turned out well. And we'll see how you feel about my alleged ingenuity. There's the hole in it. And the plastic base to the Tomica Toyota. I think Tomicas are cool. You know, I mean, the Japanese do diecast different than Americans and different than the Europeans. So, you know, I picked one of the, I had one of these as a kid, a Tomica Toyota Celica, because like I said, my babysitter drove a Celica. So it was one of my prized toys, and I have it somewhere. It's in a box somewhere. I still own it. But this one was one that I bought because it was smashed up and it needed a window, and I knew that it needed restoration work, and I felt like I could do it. So here I used a Dremel, or the cutting wheel on a rotary tool to turn this into the Starship Enterprise. What I did was I cut the back window out and kind of carefully tried to shape it so the 2 quarter windows would still be there. Here's a shot along the way where I had not cut enough of it out. But, a little bit at a time. Here's where a little more success. You can see the quarter windows there, and there's a little crack in the quarter window, but, that little crack is not in the main windshield or whatever. Didn't think it was that big of a deal. And I feel like I was pretty successful in shaping the windshield, the window unit, to allow myself to build a new one. Here's the hole in the base, or sorry, in the interior, and I cut up a gift card that I had to glue it underneath to fit in between these 2 slots. Because I knew I needed a sheet of plastic, and I obviously have a lot of this kind of junk laying around, and you either throw it away or you find a way to recycle it. So I found a way to recycle it. Here it is in primer. Got the doors back on it. Again, a good casting. Very smooth casting. Very nice casting. And was able to get it primered and looking good. And it did not need any body work. The lines are good. I mean, it's a nice car. Just the interior and the glass were the only 2 things that had any sort of trouble. And the Celica that my babysitter drove was yellow. All right, it was not this one. It was a little newer. It had rectangular headlights, but I'm going to paint it like this. I'm going to paint a yellow Celica, kind of both in tribute to my old babysitter Darlene, and also just in that's what a Celica looks like to me. I drive a yellow Toyota now. I mean, it's a Land Cruiser, but there it is. But I found these just on a Google search. So if this is a picture of your car, A, I'm sorry, and B, put it in the comments, and I'll give you credit for you having such a nice car. So I have these guitar picks. I'm a guitar player, and I have these guitar picks. They're made by DeAndrea, and they're called Radex. And they're made out of this kind of smoked, clear, translucent plastic. And when I was kind of looking around my house for things that were clear, I found obviously clear plastic. But since the window unit on this car is tinted, I felt like this might be okay. So I traced it out on the guitar pick and I cut it to shape. Because, guitar picks are made out of usually pretty soft plastic. And, got it to fit inside the car and shaped it to fit inside the window unit as it had already been modified. And once I got it kind of glued in place, it's a little hazier than the rest of the glass, but it's the rear window. So other than being slightly different color, I used 3M trim adhesive for a car to glue plastic trim onto the metal body. I feel like it works pretty good. I like the adhesive. Here I am doing the taillights. I'm sorry that it's not in frame very well. This is the only shot that I could find that I had done. So much of it was off frame, and whatever. I never said I was good at it. I just make these videos for fun, so feel free to like it and to leave your respectful comments below. But you don't really need to subscribe. I'm not looking to monetize this or turn this into anything other than just a hobby that I do. And I made videos because I'm a math teacher, so I made videos over the lockdown for my students. And so I got the hang of kind of editing. And so I figured I'd use my talents, various talents. So here we are, assembled, put back together, the yellow Tomica Toyota Celica. And it's some of my best work. I haven't done that many, if you follow me at all. But this is probably one of the ones that I'm the most proud of. I did the taillights in red marker. They're not as perfect as they could be. But the rest of it, I mean, the paint came out nice. We will do this Matchbox one at some other date and time. But until then, thanks for watching, and happy restoring.